Hello there, namaste. So, you know what? I've been reacting to trailers quite often, but I need to start. I don't have time to do like full on movie reactions, but might as well react to like scenes from films I have previously seen. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that. I think the funny part about this one is this is Bahubali English dubbed. I watched it in Hindi, I think. Yeah, I think I watched it in Hindi. Um, let's check it out.
It's time for the king to arrive now. Whoever it may be, come through the next line.
Oh, okay. It That's funny. That's funny because the line is literally read as ADR. It has to be done as ADR. But someone's sitting in a chair or standing in front of my, basically doing what I'm doing and just reading a script. That's all that's being done. Because as long as people put emotion into their, like if you're a voice actor, you know you actually have to act while voice acting, it comes across as more realistic, more believable.
Please come ahead. It's all right. You go ahead.
Come. Yes. Come forward. So many waiting behind. Come quick. Everyone should step forward. That's right. Keep them coming. Yes. And you will be next.
Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, it has to be read seductively. It's You know what? I need to see more of these English dubbed ones because this is hilarious. The fact that it's so bad. It's so bad because you know when you watch something in its original language, you know when you have a dedicated cast to it, or like I know a lot of the actors in India will voice their characters, or at least some of them will voice their characters in the languages they know, just because they're committed to a character, they're committed to that role, and it comes across as more believable. Why? Because they're playing the same role, they're doing the same intention, the same inflection, everything as they're speaking it in ADR. Here, you just hand someone a script. You know, you speak English. Here, just read this verbatim. I need to watch this movie in English. Oh.
Devsena, wife of Bahubali, is accused of chopping Commander Setupati's fingers. With due permission from Queen Mother Shivgami Devi, under the jurisdiction of King Ballal Dev,
All they added was an echo.
interrogation will commence now.
Go ahead. Devasena, is there anything you wish to speak?
Without a fair trial, you have already handcuffed me. You have already charged me guilty of the crime. Is this what you call justice?
You are guilty until proven innocent. This is the law of Mahishmati.
Even the tribals won't frame this as a law. Throw your court into the fire. Flush out your law into Ganga. Bury your judiciary in the ground. Irony is that the kingdom is named Mahishmati, and hypocrisy is that wisdom does not exist in here.
Devsena, about your great and
You know, you can't take it seriously. You just can't take it seriously because you see their facial expressions and then you hear their voices. That like that's the thing. Like people who voice act for a living, you have to respect them because literally, if you get voice actors and you are recording them as they're voice acting, if they're doing an angry line, they're actually emoting the part. Sometimes they overact it because it's more like a theater acting because they're trying to get their voice to emulate it. So they have to over portray a line, over portray a piece of dialogue. This is just entertaining because it's like I'm listening to it, but it holds no weight. I'm just hearing it like, okay. Okay, it's like nobody, like the person who lost his fingers, it didn't care. The trial that's going on, the king doesn't demand gravitas, doesn't have a commanding presence because he's just talking to the crowd as if as if everyone can. He has a soft voice, just talking, and doesn't command himself, doesn't order everyone else around, doesn't demand anything. It's just it's so passive.
renowned kingdom. if you utter an other disrespectful
Giant
word.
thrones and gold statues do not define the fame of a kingdom, Queen Mother, but only compassion does. Seems as if no one has that. Pity on you.
You heard her, Your Majesty? If she can mock us right in front of you, just imagine how low she would have stooped in your absence. Think about it, Your Highness.
Bahubali! Bahubali आ गए! Bahubali!
I need to rewatch this film, or both of them, really.
What had happened? Tell me, Setupati.
The temple was full of devotees, Your Majesty. Devsena also arrived. And just when you were about to arrive, I told her to come through a different gate.
Bahu! What is this attitude?
I think that's also a issue with the whole thing, because if you listen to it, like it's like they're removing the original audio. I wonder if this is done after the fact. If this is just like a group of friends narrating, as I doubt this is actually professionally done. Because there are scenes where I'd enjoy to voice act for things just to have it translated, just to have it so other people can see scenes the same way I have seen them. Because I'll read them, I'll see the acting and everything, but a lot of people won't watch something if it isn't in their language, especially here in the West. A lot of people don't bother turning on. If the second they hear something they can't understand, they turn it off. The second subtitles pop up, they clock out. There are a lot of people like that here in the West. So it's like, for me, I would love to just voice act for some of these scenes, but you actually have to, it's called voice acting for a reason. You have to act it. I'm pretty sure that this is just a group of friends.
You are intimidating the victim.
The truth will not be disclosed if asked politely, Your Majesty.
You are crossing your limits, Bahubali.
When this court chained a woman in her final trimester, this court already crossed its limit.
Whether it is you or me or her, the rules of interrogation are the same. Do you know what happened?
What happened, Devsena?
He asked the women to form a separate line inside the temple. Then he made a pass at them. He was about to group me too. So I chopped his fingers.
You did wrong, Devsena. If one lays hand on any woman, you should not chop his fingers. You should chop his bloody head!
Agreed. Yeah, this has to be people who are doing it in their room and are afraid to shout, because, you know, there's always that indoor shouting where you do, because you don't want to wake up the rest of the household. You just shout quietly, if that makes sense. That's what he did right there. You cut off their head. He didn't shout it. He said it loudly. Bye-bye.
Bahubali! How dare you insult my court?
Since Setupati was guilty, he was hesitant and nervous. Because Devsena spoke the truth, she was absolutely fearless. Setupati was proved guilty. He was beheaded.
Bahubali! Even if we consider Setupati to be guilty, who should interrogate and pass the verdict? You or the king? Or do you see yourself as the king?
Yeah, honestly, I never liked her. I never liked her because she just constantly made me angry in the film, because she always thought she was the pinnacle of everything. She was the greatest of all. Sure, she sacrificed to let her not son live in the beginning, but that doesn't correct her mistake of, well, leading her empire into the hands of a tyrant. So she got off easy. I mean, sure, it starts off the film interestingly, the way she sacrifices herself, holding the child up, and then she gets washed away as if her sins are being washed away. But in my mind, it's just like, you caused the whole thing. the reason why your beloved child had to sacrifice himself and you had to protect your grandson and everything was your doing. You betrayed your own country. And the fact that she always acted as if she was proper and you only see her feel guilty in the very beginning of the first film just felt a little pathetic. I kind of wish she would have realized her mistake for longer. Lived with the regret, lived with her actions, suffered through the fact that she made a mistake instead of washing herself clean in the beginning of the film. I don't know. I just feel like it would have held more weight, seeing her suffer as the mother who created a tyrant. Oh, I guess it's done. It was right there. It was right there. Yeah, but that's something I've always felt. It's just like I hated her because it's like it starts off, she's no longer in the film. Occasionally they'll do like flashbacks to himself, but his father in like the first film, and then they go back to the second film where they do the whole flashback and everything where he's playing his father, and I couldn't stand her. Not a single piece of line. I think the biggest issue is how it all turns out. So in hindsight, we are aware, so we don't like her because we already know. If we didn't know, it'd be better. But the fact that we know what happened due to her actions, I think that's where my dislike for her character comes from. But yeah. This was awful in English. I'm pretty sure it was fan made. There was no way this was professionally done. There is no way. Oh, thank y'all for watching. I definitely need to watch more of these. You know what? I think I should voice act a few scenes. What are some interesting, pieces of dialogue I could try to show my acting skill by voice acting over, and then I just upload the whole scene where it's me voice acting over? I think that would be pretty interesting. I mean, it'd be idiotic and stupid, but I think it'd be pretty interesting. Everyone could make fun of me and my voice and my lack of acting skill. Thank y'all. I mean, you can't dish it out if you're not willing to get dished. I mean, right? Thank y'all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.
You guys got a video? It's so bad.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait like that.